What if I told you your greatest enemy has never been another person? Not your boss, not your past, not even your failures. It's the emotion you fail to master every single day. Every argument you've regretted, every opportunity you've missed, every relationship you've damaged, every sleepless night spent replaying conversations in your head can often be traced back to one simple truth. You reacted instead of responding. And here's what makes it even more dangerous. Most people believe emotional control means becoming cold, pretending nothing hurts, or suppressing every feeling until they eventually explode. The Stoics believed something completely different. They didn't teach people to feel less. They taught them to suffer less, because they understood a truth that modern psychology continues to confirm. Your emotions don't come directly from what happens to you. They come from the meaning your mind gives to what happens. Once you truly understand that, no insult can own you, no rejection can define you, no setback can break you. And by the end of this documentary, you'll understand the same timeless principles that helped emperors, philosophers, soldiers, and ordinary people remain calm in the middle of chaos. Because emotional freedom isn't a gift, it's a discipline, and it begins with a single decision. Imagine two people standing in the exact same storm. Both lose their jobs on the same morning. Both receive the same email. Both walk home under the same gray sky. Yet one collapses into panic, while the other quietly begins planning the next chapter of life. The event was identical. The experience was completely different. Why? This question fascinated one of history's most powerful men, not because he lived a peaceful life, but because he didn't. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire surrounded by war, political betrayal, disease, and unimaginable pressure. He couldn't control any of those events, but he spent years training himself to control something far more important: his response. He reminded himself that while the world could shake his circumstances, it never had permission to rule his mind. Centuries later, psychologists would describe a similar principle. Between what happens and how you respond, there is a space. Inside that space lives your judgment, your interpretation, your choice. And that choice quietly shapes the person you become. This is where most people lose the battle. They believe emotions simply happen to them. The Stoics challenged that belief, not by denying pain, not by pretending life is fair, but by asking a question almost nobody asks in the middle of emotional chaos. What part of this is actually under my control? That single question has the power to interrupt anger before it becomes destruction, fear before it becomes paralysis, and anxiety before it steals your peace. But understanding this idea is only the beginning, because the first Stoic lesson about emotional mastery is far more surprising than most people expect, and it changes everything. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to pause before believing his own thoughts, not because he distrusted himself, but because he understood something remarkably human. The mind reacts quickly. Wisdom responds slowly. Most people believe emotional strength means feeling less. The Stoics believed emotional strength begins by questioning your first judgment. Before anger, ask yourself, what facts do I actually know? Before anxiety, ask, what evidence supports this fear? Before resentment, ask, could there be another explanation? These aren't just philosophical questions, they're practical tools that interrupt emotional momentum before it takes control. Because once a judgment hardens into certainty, an emotion often follows. But if you examine the judgment, you may never become trapped by the emotion. And yet, even when you learn to question your thoughts, one challenge remains. Some events truly are painful. Loss is real. Rejection hurts. Failure can shake your confidence. So how did the Stoics remain calm when life genuinely fell apart? The answer begins with a simple idea, one that Marcus Aurelius returned to again and again. Focus only on what is truly yours to control. And that single principle may become the most liberating lesson you'll ever learn. Lesson 2. Control what you can, accept what you can't. There is a question that has echoed through history, a question every human eventually faces. What do you do when life refuses to obey your plans? When the promotion goes to someone else? When the relationship ends despite your best efforts? When illness arrives without warning? When people misunderstand your intentions? Most of us respond the same way. We fight reality. We replay conversations. We imagine different outcomes. We argue with events that have already happened. And without realizing it, we surrender the only thing that was ever truly ours, our peace. The emperor who couldn't control an empire. Marcus Aurelius ruled nearly the entire Roman Empire. To the world, he appeared to possess unlimited power. Yet every morning he woke knowing something uncomfortable. He could command armies, but not the weather. He could pass laws, but not stop disease. He could influence people, but never control their thoughts. His greatest realization wasn't political, it was deeply personal. The quality of your life depends less on what happens and more on where you place your attention. He repeatedly reminded himself to separate life into two categories: things within his control and everything else. Simple, yet life-changing. Modern psychology confirms the same truth. Psychologists have long observed that chronic stress often grows from a single habit: trying to control the uncontrollable. We obsess over other people's opinions. We worry about tomorrow's uncertainties. We replay yesterday's mistakes. Our minds become trapped in places where our actions have no influence. It's like trying to calm the ocean by shouting at the waves. The effort is exhausting, not because the ocean is cruel, because it was never ours to command.
Meet Sarah. She's talented, hard-working, respected by her colleagues. For months, she prepared for a leadership position she genuinely deserved. She sacrificed weekends, stayed late, delivered exceptional work. Then one afternoon, the promotion went to someone else. Driving home, anger consumed her. She replayed every conversation, every meeting, every decision. She imagined confronting her manager, quitting her job, giving up entirely. For weeks, her energy wasn't spent improving her future. It was spent resisting a past she couldn't change. One evening, a mentor asked her a simple question: which part of this situation still belongs to you? She paused. The decision? No. The company's politics? No. Other people's opinions? No. But her integrity? Yes. Her next skill? Yes. Her attitude tomorrow morning? Absolutely. That single shift didn't erase disappointment, it redirected her power. 1 year later, she earned an even better opportunity. Not because life suddenly became fair, because she stopped investing energy where it produced no return.
Imagine carrying 2 buckets every day. The first bucket holds things you can influence: your effort, your words, your habits, your character, your preparation, your choices. The second bucket contains everything else: other people's behavior, economic uncertainty, traffic, politics, the weather, the past, the future. Most people pour nearly all their emotional energy into the second bucket, then wonder why they feel empty. Stoicism asks you to reverse that equation. Invest deeply where your actions matter. Release gently where they don't. Not because those things are unimportant, but because your peace is too valuable to be held hostage by forces beyond your reach. The next time something upsets you, don't immediately react. Instead, ask yourself 3 questions. First, can I directly influence this? If the answer is yes, take action. Second, if I can't control it, can I prepare for it? Preparation is productive, worry is not. Third, if I can do neither, what would acceptance look like? Acceptance is not surrender. It is refusing to waste your strength fighting reality. That distinction changes everything.
Many people spend years believing peace comes after life finally becomes predictable. The Stoics discovered the opposite. Peace begins the moment you stop demanding certainty from an uncertain world. Because emotional freedom isn't found in controlling everything around you. It's found in mastering the one person who experiences everything, you. But there's still one obstacle that quietly destroys even disciplined minds. Not anger, not fear, not failure. Something far more subtle. Impulse. That split second between feeling an emotion and acting on it. The Stoics believe that single moment determines the direction of an entire life. And in the next lesson, you'll learn the simple habit that transforms reaction into wisdom, one deliberate pause at a time. Lesson 3: The power of the pause. Every life can change in a single second, not because of what happens, but because of how you respond. A careless sentence, an angry text, one impulsive decision, one uncontrolled reaction. Sometimes that's all it takes to damage years of trust. The Stoics understood something most people never notice. Emotions are fast, wisdom is slow, and between those two exists the smallest space in human experience, a pause. It lasts only a few seconds, but inside that pause lives your freedom. The moment that defines character. Imagine someone insults you in front of your coworkers. Your heart pounds, your face grows warm, your mind immediately prepares a response, a sharper insult, a louder voice, a stronger attack. Your brain whispers, "Hit back." Most people obey that voice without thinking. Then later, they apologize for words they can never take back. The Stoics refused to surrender that moment, not because they lacked emotion, but because they understood something deeper. Your first emotion is often automatic. Your second response is a choice. That distinction separates emotional maturity from emotional slavery. A lesson from Seneca. The Roman philosopher Seneca spent years studying one emotion more than any other: anger. He didn't describe anger as strength, he described it as temporary madness. Not because anger is always wrong, but because anger makes us believe urgency is wisdom. It convinces us that acting immediately is necessary, when in reality, the greatest decision is often not making one yet. Seneca encouraged people to delay their reactions, even briefly, because emotions rise like waves, but they also fall. If you wait, you often discover that the decision you were desperate to make no longer feels necessary. Modern science agrees. Neuroscientists explain this through 2 different systems working inside your brain. One reacts instantly, fast, emotional, protective. The other is slower, thoughtful, analytical, capable of long-term thinking. When you're overwhelmed by emotion, the reactive system takes control.
But something remarkable happens the moment you pause. Even taking one slow breath or silently counting to 5 gives your thinking brain time to return. That tiny delay changes the quality of your decisions, not because the problem disappeared, because clarity returned.
Michael was known as the smartest manager in his company, but he had one weakness. Whenever he received criticism, he replied immediately. Emails, messages, meetings. He always answered in the heat of the moment. One afternoon, a client sent an email questioning months of his work. His hands moved toward the keyboard. He was ready to defend himself. Then he remembered something an older mentor once told him. Never send an emotional email on an emotional day. So he closed the laptop, went for a 20-minute walk, returned, read the message again. This time, he noticed something he had completely missed. The client wasn't attacking him. They were asking for clarification. The angry response he almost sent would have destroyed the relationship. Instead, he replied calmly. The project continued. One pause saved an entire partnership. The Stoic exercise. The next time emotion begins taking control, try this simple practice. Don't suppress the feeling. Name it. Quietly tell yourself, I'm feeling anger. I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling disappointment. Notice the wording, not I am angry, but I'm experiencing anger. There's a difference. One becomes your identity, the other becomes a passing experience. The Stoics believed, you are not your emotions. You are the observer of your emotions, and observers can make wiser choices.
The hidden truth. Here's the paradox. Most people believe emotional control makes life less passionate. The opposite is true. When emotions stop controlling you, you finally become free to experience them without being consumed by them. You can love deeply without becoming possessive. You can grieve honestly without losing hope. You can feel anger without becoming cruel. That is emotional mastery, not becoming emotionless, but refusing to let emotions become your master. But even if you learn to pause, even if you master your reactions, one final challenge remains. The most difficult battle isn't controlling anger or fear or anxiety. It's learning to let go of what no longer deserves a place in your mind. Because the strongest Stoics didn't just control their emotions, they controlled where they placed their attention. And that may be the most powerful lesson of all. Lesson 4. Guard your attention. There is one final lesson, perhaps the most important lesson the Stoics ever discovered, because no matter how disciplined you become, no matter how well you learn to pause before reacting, your peace can still disappear, not because of your emotions, but because of your attention. Attention is the invisible currency of your life. Whatever receives it begins to shape you. Feed your attention with outrage, and anger becomes your personality. Feed it with comparison, and you'll never feel enough. Feed it with fear, and even a safe life begins to feel dangerous. The Stoics understood something that social media algorithms understand remarkably well today. Whatever repeatedly captures your attention slowly captures your identity. A lesson from Marcus Aurelius. Every morning, Marcus Aurelius prepared himself before facing the world, not because he expected life to be easy, but because he expected people to be impatient, selfish, arrogant, and sometimes unfair. He reminded himself that none of this should surprise him, because human nature had never changed. His preparation wasn't pessimism, it was wisdom. He knew that expecting perfection from people only guaranteed disappointment. Instead, he chose to protect the one place that mattered most, his own mind. The modern trap. Now think about your own day. How many times do you check your phone without even realizing it? How many opinions from strangers have quietly influenced your mood? How many minutes become hours scrolling through lives that make you question your own? Every notification competes for your attention. Every headline competes for your emotions. Every argument online invites you into a battle that rarely improves your life. The question isn't, what deserves my reaction? The better question is, what deserves my attention? Because what you ignore can be just as important as what you pursue. The final Stoic practice. For the next 7 days, practice one simple habit. Before reacting to anything, pause and ask yourself, will this matter 1 year from now? If the answer is no, release it. If the answer is yes, respond with your values, not your emotions. Then, each evening, take 5 quiet minutes. Ask yourself 3 questions. Where did I remain calm? Where did emotion control me? What will I do differently tomorrow? This was more than a Stoic exercise. It was a way of becoming a better human being, one day at a time. Small reflections, repeated consistently, eventually become character.
Most people spend their lives trying to control the world. The Stoics chose something far more powerful. They learned to govern themselves. They understood that strength isn't measured by how loudly you speak or how quickly you win an argument. It's measured by what happens inside your own mind when life refuses to go your way. Anyone can remain calm when everything is working. Character is revealed when nothing is. And every difficult moment you face offers the same silent question. Will this moment control you, or will you control yourself? That choice, repeated thousands of times across a lifetime, becomes your destiny. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Notice what he didn't say. He didn't promise an easy life. He didn't promise a world without pain. He promised something far more valuable, that no matter what happens around you, there remains one place where freedom can always exist, within your own mind. Perhaps that's why the Stoics continued to inspire people nearly 2,000 years later. Because technology has changed, empires have risen and fallen, the world looks completely different. But human nature still asks the same questions. How do I remain calm? How do I find peace? How do I live with courage in a world I cannot control? The Stoics never claimed to have every answer, but they left us a path, and every day we decide whether to walk it. If this documentary made you pause, even for a moment, then its purpose has already been fulfilled. If you'd like to continue exploring timeless wisdom, practical psychology, and the ideas that help build a calmer, stronger mind, consider subscribing to The Moral Compass, not for motivation that fades tomorrow, but for principles that can stay with you for a lifetime. Before you leave, I'd like to ask you one question. Which emotion has been the hardest for you to master, and why? Share your thoughts in the comments. Someone reading your story might discover they're not fighting that battle alone. The world may never become quieter, but your mind can. And sometimes, that changes everything.